and welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon.
And I'm Angelica.
And welcome to another special group deep dive episode of the show.
Group edition. And today we are honoring the legends, the myth.
Girls' Generation.
Yeah. The man, the myth, the legend. The ladies, the myth, the legend.
The legends, Girls' Generation. And they are my K-pop origin story. If you're all caught up on the podcast and listen to like the first one, it was a Girls' Generation video that like made me fall down the K-pop rabbit hole initially. So they've always been very special to me. But a thing that I realized is that I think in some subconscious part of my brain, I always thought that like Girls' Generation is not a group that you stan. It's a group that is up on a pedestal high above you and you just like appreciate them from afar. Or maybe it was just that I like never wanted to get to know them as people because to me they were just like these K-pop angels and I wanted to keep them on a pedestal. So I learned a lot about them this week because I just, for some reason, I kept them at like a weird, like I've always listened to their music and like watched their videos and I like love and appreciate them, but I don't know anything about them and I still don't know like two of their names.
Yeah, I don't know that much about them. I definitely wasn't a big fan, especially because a lot of their earlier stuff is very cutesy. And it's like not until they sort of start to grow up in their image that I become a fan of a lot of their songs. But I also never really got that into them because I felt like they were not a group that you take lightly. You know what I mean? Like if you were going to choose to be a Girls' Generation fan, there's so much history. Not only are there a lot of members, but there's also like so much history and legacy to like uphold. And I just felt like I was never in a place where I felt ready to commit to like learning everything I needed to learn in order to be a Girls' Generation stan. So I never hopped on that train. And I would say I'm still not on the train. I don't like know all of their names and faces, but I did learn a lot. And like they are, of course, icons and like legends that you need to know of if you're going to know anything about K-pop.
Yes. So this is a type of episode that I hope that our goal is to try to do it at least once a quarter. Do one of these like get to know a group episodes. We started doing this with our Shiny episode where that was very organic and like this is our favorite thing. Let's spend 3 hours telling you about it.
When it was like their 10th anniversary.
Yes.
It was a special.
It was special. And then like the EXO one was the same, but we tried to be a little more concise about it. And then the last thing we did was Tiara, and that was a group where we knew literally nothing and we were just trying to figure out a mystery.
So this is a little in between.
So just to prepare you, like we normally do, we're going to like go through some basics up top, some members, and then we're going to go through the timeline chronologically and listen to all the like
major singles and just sort of overview their discography.
Yes, and we're going to be so we're basically focusing on Girls' Generation, the K-pop group, and what that means to K-pop. Like everybody's fun personal scandals and stuff. Not in this episode. We'll get to it another day.
We will do an episode that is specifically about scandals. Like, well, we've done some before, like contract disputes. Girls' Generation didn't come up in that one. We do talk about Taeyeon a little bit in our Valentine's Day scandal episode from so long ago. And eventually we have like lots of potential scandal episodes. So we'll go more into detail about their personal lives then. This episode is going to focus more on their career and their accolades and like the legend and legacy of Girls' Generation.
Right. Yes, that's the hope. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So Girls' Generation or 소녀시대.
Yeah, so Girls' Generation is also abbreviated as SNSD because of their Korean name, which does translate into Generation of the Girls.
Yes, but it's like in old-timey Korean, so it's pretty similar in Chinese as well. But yeah, 소녀시대.
Yeah.
So you've also might hear them referred to as Soshi. They have like a couple of names because it's a long one. Girls' Generation is from SM Entertainment, and there were originally 9 members.
Yes, they debuted with 9 members.
9. It became 8 And then, so technically here in the present, there are officially 8 members of Girls' Generation, but only 5 members are still signed to SM Entertainment. But they're not disbanded or anything like that.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
When we get there. Point is, 9.
They debuted with 9.
9, SM Entertainment. Their fandom name is Soon, which is like, but stylized, it's SONE, and the O is a heart.
Yeah.
If you can help it. That's part of it.
Yeah.
And that the Soon is Korean for wish, and one of their, we'll get to it, but one of their big singles involved a wish. So that's where that came from. Their fan color is listed as pastel pink, but I always found it really seemed like it was hot pink in like any time they ever did anything with it.
Okay.
Just
they definitely started out being like very neon and like highlighter colored, so that wouldn't surprise me. But I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just saying the official color is pastel pink, but in like most music videos, light sticks, album packaging, they use hot pink. But whatever. Pastel pink. And then just some numbers up top so we understand what kind of legendariness we're working with. Girls' Generation won 121 awards, was nominated for an additional 227 awards, and has 100 music show trophies.
They are also known in Korea as both the nation's singers and also the nation's girl group. They're the first Korean celebrity to have stamps used and distributed by the Korean Post. And they're also the first girl group with 5 music videos to have over 100 million views on YouTube.
Yes. So they're pioneers. And I think we talked about that. I meant to listen to it today so I wouldn't repeat myself. But in the Second Generation episode, we touched on how important they are to that generation and as K-pop as a whole, honestly.
Yeah, Girls' Generation is large. And as we go through the timeline, like we will illustrate this more as it like occurs in their chronology. But they are largely they're a huge factor in like the Hallyu wave like gaining traction internationally, and they're also kind of widely acknowledged as like the peak girl group of that generation for sure. Like they broke and set a lot of records specifically for girl groups.
Yes. So let's get to know the members of Girls' Generation. Our oldest member and our leader is Taeyeon. She was born in 1989, and she is also the main vocal of Girls' Generation. One of her like nicknames is the kid leader because she looks very young, and she also was like very hesitant to and didn't want to be the leader because 6 out of 9 of them were born in 1989, and she's only the oldest by a month. So it was
she also was one of the last to join SM as a trainee. So there were a lot of other members that were like had been training for longer than her. Which can, like in the case of EXO, can be the reason why someone's chosen as a leader. So I can understand why she would have been like, oh, just because I'm 1 month older than you. Like, I don't know about that. I could see why she would be hesitant.
And if you're trying to like pick Taeyeon out of the lineup, she's very small, but her voice is very big. I feel like that's a good way to like catch her. Sure. And we talked about her a ton on this show because she's a very prolific solo artist.
Yeah, she's one of Shannon's favorite solo artists for sure. And she's also been a part of a subunit, which we talked about in our subunit episode called Taetiso.
Yes, she's around a lot.
Yeah.
Next in age order was Jessica. Also 89, main vocal, known for like crazy high notes and belting and stuff. Jessica is American. She was born in San Francisco. And her, go ahead.
I was just going to say, fun fact, her sister is Crystal, who is part of FX.
So little K-pop dynasty there. She was known as the Ice Queen because like, no offense to Jessica, I'm sure she's as nice as all her friends say, but like she looks like the mean girl in a movie.
She just has like a harsh face.
Yes. And she was like always very like, kind of cold and chic and serious or whatever. But she truly, in every video, every time I've ever seen her, she looks like the girl who would play the most popular, meanest pretty girl in like a teen something.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what I say.
That's Jessica.
That's Jessica. Looks like the mean girl in Teacher. That's what's in my notes. Next is Sunny. Also 89, lead vocal sub-rapper.
Aegyo queen.
Totally. To describe Sunny, she's short and she's stacked.
Yeah. Wider face than some of the other girls. And she I feel like has sort of like
like a heart shape, like
definitely a heart-shaped face because she has like big cheeks and such a bright smile, almost like a little bit cartoonish. Like I feel like saying that she looks like a troll doll is insulting, but do you kind of know what I mean?
I sort of know what you mean.
Yeah,
like in that
she just has like a really like wide, like she just because she's an Aegyo queen as well. Like her cutesiness is just like she can be very cutesy. She can also be very sultry. Yes, but she has like an easily cutesy face.
Totally. And then an interesting thing about Sunny that comes up a lot is that she is the niece of Lee Suman, who is like the creator of SM Entertainment. She like was part of an SM subsidiary training camp, but was not accepted officially as an SM trainee until like a year before the group debuted.
Yeah, she trained with SM from like 98 to 2003, and then she left to go be part of a different company and almost debuted in a pop duo with them, but it disbanded before they even debuted, and she came back to SM.
Yes, but for some reason, it's like an annoying thing that people have brought up her whole career, like as a way to say that she doesn't deserve things or whatever.
Nepotism or whatever.
But
I disagree. She has a very nice voice.
Yes, and she's a star.
And she's a great dancer.
Okay, next in line is Tiffany. 89 as well, lead vocal, rapper, because she would rap in English.
Right.
Because she's also American. Her and Jessica were apparently born at the same hospital even.
Crazy.
But her, like, I think we said this last week in the commercial episode, her, like, nickname is Fani. And she's known for her eyes, like, she has very intense eye smiles, which we haven't described that before. That's when you smile, your eyes turn into, like,
little
two upside down
shapes, like little crescent moons.
Yes. So she has a very good eye smile. She was always like made fun of for how she talked because she like apparently spoke Korean with a Valley Girl accent.
Oh, okay.
And all the other members like to imitate her speaking English. Like, yeah, come on. Like after everything she says, it's very funny. What else about Tiffany? I don't know. She always
one of the several members who made a solo debut.
Yes. Oh, that was the thing I was just going to say. Like, she goes by her artist name now is Tiffany Young. That's what.
Yeah. And lately she's been gaining a little bit of traction in her solo work because she kind of recently like moved back to LA and she does a lot of BuzzFeed stuff. She's sort of the like resident LA like K-pop expert. So she's in a lot of different around. Like, you know, new media shit.
Yes. Okay. Next in line is Hyoyeon. Also 89. She's the main dancer.
Yes.
Main rapper. I think now her her current name is DJ Hyo or just Hyo in capitals.
Sometimes she goes by DJ Hyo and sometimes it's just Hyo.
Okay, yes. But she's a super good dancer.
When they first debuted, she was blondish. Not in her initial debut, but like...
She usually has light hair more often than anybody else. She also does not have the face she debuted with anymore, but no judgments. What else? Yeah, she's just like a really good dancer.
Yeah, she's often featured, like almost every iconic Girls' Generation song will have a dance break in which she is the featured member. So like if you're watching a Girls' Generation song and you're like, oh gee, I wonder which one is Hyoyeon, just wait for the dance break. She's the one in the middle.
There you go. Okay, next is our last 89 liner. This is Yuri. She's the lead rapper and dancer, and her like fandom nickname is Black Pearl because she's tan and has a weird personality, I guess.
She is very tan. I noticed that in the Lionheart performance I was watching today because they were like wearing white, and when they do that crazy like wide stance leg thing, like her legs are so brown. Yeah.
Yeah, she was the center of the dance lines a lot. And I, for some reason, have Yuri face blindness, like just to her. every single video I watched this weekend, every video I've ever watched, no matter how many times I see it, when she appears on the screen, I go, who is that? Every time. Like, first, she will not stick in my mind. I do not know why.
Oh, man.
She, like, I don't know why, but she just, like, will not stick in a way that, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my own personal Yuri thing. It's weird because she is in the center a lot, but I just, like,
Fair.
Face blindness to her for some reason.
Fair enough.
She's an actress these days. Does a lot of acting. Okay, next. Our first girl born in 90. This is Sooyoung.
She's my favorite.
She's my favorite. She actually, pre-debut, was in a Japanese duo called Route Omega.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. But the thing
they were only around for like a year.
The thing about Sooyoung that's always been crazy to me is like when I first was getting into K-pop and I was first like just devouring Girls' Generation videos, I was like, that is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. She's like so tall and so gorgeous, and she always has perfect hair, and she looks like a supermodel to me. Like, she's spectacular. And it was unbelievable for me to find out that she was considered like one of the ugly ones. And like,
I don't understand it. She's utterly stunning. When she has short hair, she looks so beautiful. She looks beautiful all the time, but she has like big eyes, and she has
like more a tiny little chin, like a sweet little.
She has a heart-shaped face for sure, because she has wide cheekbones, but like such a bright smile. And she's a loud laugh, and she's
like a glamazon. She's so tall.
Yeah, she's stunning to me. I love her.
Yeah, but yeah, apparently she was like ugly and never got lines. I don't understand.
That's fucking bullshit.
I don't understand. But yes, that's Sooyoung. Next is Yoona. Also born in 90. She's the visual in the center. We talked about her last week because she was like a child commercial actress.
Yes.
We talked about her at the end of the year because she hosts everything.
Yeah, she had... Before joining SM, or like before even joining SM as a trainee, she had already gone on over 200 auditions for music videos, commercials, acting. Like her face is everywhere. She's like a very, very recognizable and trustworthy like household name and face.
Yeah, and she acts and she does she's just like a person that
she hosts
Yeah, so that's Yoona. Like, you've seen Yoona, even if you think you haven't, I bet you have.
Did you see pictures of Mino when he went to Paris Fashion Week? Because he was there with Yoona. He's holding an umbrella for her.
Yeah. Oh, those are really good pictures.
I
okay. And then last is Soyeon. She was born in 91, and she's the lead vocal and the maknae. Her fandom name is like So Baby because she's the baby. People also call her Koguma, which means sweet potato. And when she was on We Got Married with Younghwa from Sia and Blue, they were called the Koguma couple.
Adorable.
Yes. She's the baby. She has like huge, like very cute, huge cheeks and also like a good eye smile. And she's often like belting with Tiffany or Taeyeon or Jessica. Like
she has also released a solo album, which
my favorite, one of my favorite K-pop solo albums ever.
Yeah, definitely.
She's great. And she's the baby. So that's the lineup.
That's all 9.
All right. So it's time to just get into the chronological musical history of Girls' Generation.
Yes.
So August 5th, 2007 is their debut day. Their debut album and single was called Into the New World. Or no, excuse me. People have been picking us for like saying lead single or title track and like being wrong about those things. So hold on.
But you are correct.
Because I thought the first album was Girls' Generation.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. It is a self-titled album.
Okay. So August 5th, 2007, they debuted with the single Into the New World. Let me just play a clip of it. So yes, they were like fresh,
Very
Sweet
fresh
girls.
faced. Yeah, their initial debut stuff was very cutesy. That music video is goofy because like each one of them they all have like different careers or whatever. And like Taeyeon is an airplane mechanic, and like
Yeah, but then Hyoyeon is just trying on dance shoes at a shoe store. There's
and then some of them are
levels.
just graffiti artists. Like it's all over the place. One of them's a barista.
Yeah, but it's just like a nice, sweet song about like the future and like the youth of the future. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's very bubblegum, very like here we are, new generation.
I noticed I watched one of their debut stages today, and they are dancing so hard.
Oh, yeah.
In their debut stage, they look like they're all gonna like dislocate their shoulders
Yeah.
because it's like I don't know. Sometimes debut stages make me very nervous because like people are
know.
freaking out in them.
They debuted on Inkigayo, and they're wearing like cutesy, like very, but also very like cheapy looking like skirts, and they're just all so skinny and tiny, and they look very nervous and like
And some of them are showing like a significant amount of stomach, and some of like because they have those like I had one
those little like
those
crop
terry
top
cloth
zip hoodies.
Yes. With the matching skirts or whatever.
Yeah.
So they all have like natural hair, like brown hair colors and like
Except for Hyoyeon, she's blonde.
yeah, and some bangs, and they just like look like nice, sweet girls.
Very young. They look very young.
but
They were like 17.
I think most of them were 18. The baby was 16. So yeah. Yeah. The song like didn't do great, did it? It just kind of
The
was.
song itself didn't do that well. It was fine. So this was the lead single off of their first self-titled album, which came out in November of 2007, and that became the 12th best-selling album of 2007, which is definitely like it's nothing to sneeze at, but it is definitely like one of the lower-ranking albums in their storied career. Their debut song didn't do that great. The album it was off of was titled Girls' Generation, came out of November the same year, and it only made it to number 12 as far as like best-selling albums, which isn't great in comparison to the rest of their discography. But they released two other singles off of that album, Girls' Generation, which is a remake of a 1989 song by a guy named Lee Song-chul, and then also a single named Kissing You.
Do you want to hear either of those, or should we just?
That's up to you. I honestly didn't really like either of them, but like if you want to, go ahead.
I'll play "Kissing You" for a second because there's a baby Donghae in the music video.
Oh, that's who that is. I was wondering who it was. That video's so cute. It almost looks like a little commercial or so, or like a CF or something. It's like so over the top.
They're just in like a white room that has a million precious like polka dot, like precious pastel polka dots all over it.
And they're in very like toy kitschy sets. Like in one of them, they're like underneath large mushrooms.
Yeah. And I like the music video better than the performances of Kissing You that I watched last night because they had to hold like prop giant lollipops, and it was like part of the choreo to like have a big giant lollipop. It's not cool. It's not great. So, and yeah, Girls' Generation was another song, and we talked about it once. I can't remember why, but in another episode we talked about it because in the music video they're wearing sweaters that have their names on them, like so huge.
That's literally the only thing I wrote down about that song was that they're wearing labeled sweaters. And at one point they're in like an all-girl band. They're like pretending to play the instruments for the song.
Yeah. So then in March of 2008, they did their first repack that was called Baby Baby. The music video for this one was like backstage footage and fan signs of like, oh, we've done it. We've been a group like for a minute. And I want to play a clip of this because I like this song.
Go for it.
I don't know. It's just nice.
Yeah, they're very cute. They're like having fun as they film their music videos.
But what also happened in 2008 is the infamous Black Ocean moment at the Dream concert in 2008. If you would like to hear the full details of that, please visit the Scary Fans episode of this very podcast. And we talk about it for like 20 minutes. So go back.
Yeah.
Moving on. 2009, in January, they put out G.
Yes. G is the title track of their first EP. And their EP did really well. Like, it went to #1 on Music Bank after 1 week. And this single stayed there for 9 consecutive weeks, which held the record for most weeks until Gangnam Style in 2012. So they held that record for quite a while.
And the reason I'm not playing it is this is still their most viewed music video. So as the rules of these types of episodes go, we have to watch it at the end.
Okay.
But this song, I feel like we've brought it up a bunch of times because it's legendary.
Yeah, we definitely brought it up in our choreography episode because this has like that point choreography that everyone can do. It like became sort of a trend dance.
Yeah, and they set an actual fashion trend with their like colored skinny jeans from this episode, from this music video. I also read, like, in relating to our commercial episode from a few weeks ago, this song alone helped the group generate $1.2 million in like endorsement revenue from like.
Yes, well, also because like on the topic of their skinny jeans, they got an endorsement deal from a designer named Samantha Thavasa, who, and like they not only have an entire music video and like song that is a CF for her colored jeans, but she's the one who makes the colored jeans. So it's like a paid
won.
Partnership kind of deal.
And in case the like gravitas is being missed because I like can't play the song right now till it's over, like this is a like watershed. Is that the right term? Like this is a moment in the girls' in their careers. Like this is their first hit. This is putting them on the map.
This was the single that cemented them as like they're here and everyone's going to pay attention to them.
Yes.
It was the best-selling single of 2009. It was a phenomenon.
So in June, they followed that up with their second EP, and the track they promoted for that one was called Tell Me Your Wish, parentheses, Genie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a genie for your dream. Yes, I love that song. So that is where their fandom name comes from.
Yes, and this was sort of the first song where they started to take on an image that wasn't so bubblegum. Mm-hmm. They have like a little bit more of a techno beat. They're now wearing costumes that are like very military style, plus just legs. Like they're just featuring and focusing. Like they're wearing like military jackets with big shoulders and teeny tiny shorts and heels. So your eyes are just like on the legs, and the choreo is highlighting it too. This song was a big deal.
But I wrote down thoughts about the music video because I remember it being odd. First of all, the genie lamp that turns around
at the beginning
is the exact Aladdin lamp. Like Disney should have sued somebody over that. Like, it's too close.
It's identical. And then as soon as it turns around, one of them is sitting in it, and then poof, all of them appear. And then
is the weirdest part. They do that thing that I'm only familiar with happening in EXO VCRs, where the girls pretend that the camera is a boy, and they're like, "Come here,"
holding his hand in different places, and they go to karaoke rooms or whatever.
So the music video is half between these sailors and their legs, and then girly versions of them being birthday cake.
Because the sailor version with leg is their true genie form. And then the boy is making a wish, I wish that we could go on a karaoke date. And then they go on a karaoke date with cutesy SNSD versions.
Mm-hmm.
Duh.
You're right. You're right. In December of 2009, they did their first concert tour, sold out in 3 minutes. And as K-pop tours are wont to do, it lasted until the October of the next year.
Yeah, it was called Into the New World, and they visited Seoul, Shanghai, and Taipei.
Yeah. Then that brings us to 2010. Another January release, which they did like quite a few times.
Yeah, they do several
Start the year
times.
off with Girls' Generation. So this was their second full album, and it is called Oh.
Both the album and the title song are called Oh.
Yeah, so Oh feels like another moment to me, like in their evolution of their concept or whatever, because like in this music video, they're wearing either wigs or their hair has just been like teased very large, and they're wearing like sexy sports uniforms, and I just wrote like sexy dummies, like they're suddenly like stupid sexy babies.
They're just like airheaded cheerleaders. I did write down though like curls with an exclamation point because Girls' Generation, they do have a tendency to use some like pretty bad wigs in their music videos, which I don't understand why, but I do believe that the curls they usually have they have really good perms. Like I will just say that I love when Girls' Generation does a curly look. They don't put it on like everybody, but it always looks good.
Yeah. So O was a number one, yes?
Yes. O went to number one immediately. It was the best-selling digital single of 2010, and the album itself went to number one as well.
Yeah. But I guess I will just take this moment to say it now because I don't know when else I'll say it. But just like a criticism on Girls' Generation, like from the future, or like one that they kind of got always, was that like despite being so very popular or whatever, they were never really like about female empowerment. They were about being sexy dummies who like do
definitely
things for boys.
That was a criticism that they got a lot, especially at the beginning of their career. It was like all about how basically like terrible they were for feminism because so many of their lyrics and like the themes of their songs kind of have to do with like depending on a boy or a love. But as their career goes on, many critics argue that they like eventually develop an image of like women owning their own sexuality, which I think you could definitely make an argument for that. But yeah, the beginning of their career was like,
so
a little rough.
To me, O has specifically always felt that way, and especially that there is like a twirl your hair around your finger move in the choreo, which is like the international symbol for a dumb girl.
Yeah, like ditzy.
Yeah. So, but then here's another like, ooh, we're going to try something because we're a group now. In March of 2010, they repack O, and the teasers are letting everybody know that this is dark Sochi, like goth teen.
Yeah. It was like goth teen. Because isn't it at the end of the O video where like at the very end, the like dummies are faced with like dark versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And so then they came out with their repackage, which was called Run Devil Run.
You better run. 나는 못 바꿔도 찾을래. You better run. 내 붙여봐도 관심 가질래. 더 멋진 내가 되는 날 갚아주겠어. 잊지 마.
You better run.
I love this song.
It's so good.
I really, really like it.
This is one of my all-time favorites of theirs and has been forever. The song was originally written for and intended for Kesha, and she did like record a demo of it, but then it was sold to SM.
I thought it had like kind of a Pussycat Dolls like vibe to it for sure. I mean, they're wearing like either all black or all white. They're wearing heels.
I love the sequin hood. There's like a sequin hood outfit that's really fun. I also believe that many of their harsh bangs are not real. Like they're clip-in bangs.
Okay.
Because there is a very famous, hilarious video of Yuna at a fan sign and she laughs too hard and her bangs, her fake bangs flip up. It's very funny. But I just noticed when I watched the video yesterday how many of them have harsh bangs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if most of those are fake.
Maybe.
Because you could just clip some bangs in and it gives a vibe.
Yeah. It has the like tough version. And I don't think that most of them don't have bangs in O.
Yeah. So they're probably fake bangs.
Probably. Next time on Is This a Wig?
Okay. So continuing through 2010, in October on the 27th, third EP.
Yes. Before this happens, though, they make their Japanese debut. After Run, Devil Run comes out, they make their Japanese debut. I didn't take a lot of notes on like what they did in Japan.
I refused to take notes. We don't do Japanese comebacks.
I just marked a couple things like, oh, by the way, like at this point in time, they released a new album. Whatever.
They're huge in Japan. That's all you need to know.
They just made a Japanese debut. Right after Run, Devil Run. Okay. Then, in October 2010, yes, they come out with their next EP, their third EP, and the lead single off of this EP was called Hoot.
Okay, this is one of my like favorite concepts ever.
Yeah, it's like very mod and sort of James Bondy.
Yes,
like the whole
Siwon
music
from
video.
Super Junior is literally being a James Bondy spy in the music video.
Yes.
But when they promoted it, it was like all like mod dresses and high boots.
Yeah.
And
legs for days.
Legs for days. And there's a really good archery move in the like an archery thing with a kickball change when they say trouble, trouble that I just love. It's just a real good.
Yeah.
It's a good dance moment.
Yeah, the vocals in the song are like a little bit cutesy in the verses, which I don't love, but it's really catchy. Like overall, I do really like this song. But I will say that the music video is a good example of like the inexplicably bad wigs because some of the girls just have like really beautiful, like teased, like blown out, voluminous mod
With a
hair.
good headband.
Yeah, with like
and
a
stuff.
good headband or like a little like high volume half ponytail. And then some of them are wearing the shittiest wigs. Look at that blonde one.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's
sad.
like, why? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
This song debuted at number 1.
Yes, it did.
And yeah, anything else interesting and important to say about Hoot?
Let's see. I wrote it went to number 1 on Gone, number 2 on the Oricon chart. It was the 3rd best-selling EP of the year. And just a little note, I would say, to wrap up 2010, because this came out in October, is that at the Seoul Music Awards in 2010, they won Artist of the Year. They actually won it the following year in 2011 as well, becoming the first girl group to win 2 consecutive years.
Wow. I also noticed, like, just randomly, I thought it was funny, and now I wanted to look it up, but I didn't have time. I also saw how many times they won a Korean Kids' Choice Award, and I was like, there's a Korean Kids' Choice Awards.
Oh my God, how fun.
And I wanted to look it up, but I didn't have time. Too much research. But
too much stuff. They have too much
note
stuff.
to self for future, find out about
Yeah.
the Korean Kids' Choice Awards. Okay. 2011, is that where we're at?
Yes, we're at 2011. So the start of 2011 includes a lot of Japanese activity. They release Japanese singles plus a debut album, and they have an arena tour. So they set a whole bunch of records. First album by a South Korean girl group to sell 1 million copies in Japan. They become double platinum. Like they're killing it in Japan. Then October 2011, they're back in Korea.
Yes. And the single or third album is titled, the title track. That's how you use the term.
Third studio album, title track.
The Boys. The Boys, the Boys, the Boys, the Boys.
겁이 나서 시작조차 안 해봤다면 그댄 투덜대지 마라 좀 주저하면 기회는 모두 너를 비켜가 가슴 펴고 나와 봐라 좀 Bring the boys out Bring the boys out
Had to start that one from the beginning. What an iconic intro. Yes. Okay. The boys.
There's a lot to say about this.
So much. This is a huge moment in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First, before we talk about what it means, I just want to talk about the music video for a moment.
Sure.
I wrote down, what is this EXO bullshit with the roses at the beginning?
EXO bullshit, not only with the roses, but also with the like alien desert snowstorm where she like picks up like a rock and then like sees
but
each
isn't
other
that
in the
also
rock.
the same like sand desert that like Ring Ding Dong take like
Yes.
SM was
And
plagiarizing itself too much in this time period.
I think it's at the end of this music video. I could be wrong, but definitely at the end of one Girls' Generation music video, they like appear like at the bottom of the screen, like all of the members, and then it says Girls' Generation at the top. And I swear to God, it is literally the exact same scene as in one of the EXO like early music videos. Yes, that
This one.
That is some EXO bullshit right there. I mean, they're doing it first. No, they might not be actually.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
2011.
this was like
SM is copyright.
SM
is
was
like
just like
plagiarizing
copying
themselves.
itself because it was like, and it has the same slow-mo 360 cameras as like Lucifer. Like someone at SM wanted to play with all the same toys for like every single group this year.
But this whole look like
Yes.
okay, so they have definitely like a harder like EDM vibe to the music of it, and they have more eclectic looks. Like I feel like this is one of the first music videos where they're not wearing super matching. Like for the first time they're sort of like in their own personalities, and so they're all wearing tough things, and like maybe it's all in the same color scheme, and like maybe it all has a lot of leather to it or something, but like each individual member has a slightly individual style.
Because every single thing before this, whether or not it was the only costume or not, everything had at least one uniform look where they are all wearing the same outfit.
Yes, highly coordinated.
And from now
outfits.
on, they don't do that anymore.
Right. This is the first piece of individuality.
But this album was also a very big deal because it was immediately released in the US with an English version.
Yes, this was they made their US debut with Interscope Records on the David Letterman show.
I have a clip of that in a moment.
Okay. And they also promoted it on Live with Kelly. But it ultimately flopped in the US. Like this was a huge success in South Korea, and like was the best by the highest selling album of 2011, the best of any girl group, and second overall in the history of the Gone chart. But ultimate flop, sold like 30,000 copies or something in America. Didn't do well.
It also has, the US version has 5 horrible, unnecessary remixes on it, one of which has Snoop Dogg on it.
Wow.
I wonder if I'll take
I would like,
to see if I can find the
Pause.
one moment where, because there's like a part where he's like, Girls' Generation. Like, I don't know, there's something about
Snoopy.
Did I just have a stroke? There's like a really terrible lyric in it very early that I want to try to find.
First of all, most of y'all love to play, get involved, baby boo, congratulations, girls, generation, innovating, shaking and baking, beat and basing, times are wasting, walk, slow with it, I'ma get it, give it up, break it down.
See? Snoop Dogg spent 10 minutes on that.
Get it.
Snoop Dogg spent 10 minutes on that.
Baby boo, congratulations.
Girls, generation. Yeah, okay. It's very bad. And it really screws up their Spotify results because SM has only put like their last 3 albums on Spotify. And so if you just put Girls' Generation on shuffle, you'll hear the boys like 19 times because it just has remixes. And it's not good remixed. Okay. So that was the bummer about the US debut, is that like there's just one song and then a bunch of very terrible remixes. Okay. But in October 2011, that was when SM Town played at the Madison Square Garden. It was a very big deal. There's epic performances from everyone there. Then in December 2011, they repacked the boys as Mr. Taxi,
Yes.
which is one of their Japanese songs. They re-released it in Korean.
Yeah, and they also, after The Boys came out with their second Japanese album.
Yes. So, do you want to hear him? We should hear a moment of Mr. Jaxie.
Sure.
I think it's important.
I'm so fast. Mr. Taxi, 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 지금 즉시, 즉시, 즉시 따라올 수 있겠니? 잡힐 듯 말 듯. Mr. Taxi, 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 지금 즉시, 즉시, 즉시 반짝반짝 빛나지.
That's all that is. It's very auto-tuned. It's very
It
loud.
sounds like 3 other songs that I've heard before, and I do not like the taxi outfits that they're wearing. They're literally dressed like taxis.
Yeah.
Taxi drivers don't dress like taxis.
Yeah, it's like it looks like one of like a slutty Halloween costume in a bag that's
Yeah.
like taxi girl.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's made of plastic. And yeah, they all have like weird hair piles. Like the hair is like piled on their head in a weird way. Okay. So now you mentioned this. I just want to play a clip because I think it's fun. Early 2012, February 1st and 2nd is when they did Live with Kelly. Howie Mandel was the guest host. He's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. Then they went on Letterman, and the guests were Regis and Bill Murray.
Weird.
And here's what it sounded like for them to be introduced on the Late Show.
Our next guests are a very popular group from South Korea who have just released their first album in America. It's entitled The Boys. Please welcome, making their network television debut, Girls' Generation. Whoa.
That little whoa was Regis.
Regis is... Whoa!
What you see, any closer and you feel the heat. You don't have to pretend that you did.
Yeah, the like real band is playing with them.
That's pretty neat.
Bring the boys out. Yeah.
So they do their best on Letterman on the tiny, tiny, tiny stage that all of those studios have. And then the old men are very impressed at the end. Regis really loves it. I'm glad Regis got to see it because they went on Live with Kelly first, but he had already left.
Yeah, he'd already
that.
left.
So I'm glad that
Glad he got
Regis
to
got
see
his
it.
time. Yeah, and then I have that the rest of 2012 was mostly spent on Japanese promotions again.
Yeah, they came out with a lot of singles and a new album. Then,
December 21st, 2012, they release a single, just a single. It's called Dancing Queen, and if it sounds familiar, it's because it's a remake of a song called Mercy by British artist Duffy.
back to the colorful pants.
Yes, that's part of the video. So this video is interesting. Like, yes, it's just like a remake song and it's fine. But
It's like an instrumental remake. The lyrics
Yeah.
have nothing to do with the original song.
no, but the music video, it like starts out with them at a sleepover and one of them takes out an iPod and it like scrolls back to 2008. So they're supposed to be wearing their G pants like they went back in time.
I see.
But then the end of this music video is this flashy teaser for January 1st, 2012, or no, January 1st, 2013, their fourth album, I Got a Boy.
No time, now, so gentlemen. Hey, yo, stop. Let me put it down another way. I got a boy, 멋진. I got a boy, 착한. I got a boy, handsome boy. 내 맘 다 가져간. I got a boy, 멋진.
Oh, sad to fade that one. That song
know.
is so important to me.
And important to K-pop in general. I Got a Boy and The Boys have been named by like multiple outlets, both Asian and Western, as being like iconic K-pop songs.
Yeah, this video won Video of the Year at the first ever YouTube Awards, beating Psy and Justin Bieber. So
Yes, causing many people to be like, who the F are Girls' Generation? Because like obviously like the Western world was like, who could possibly be Justin Bieber? But
Yeah,
did.
so because this music video is a lot. The song is a lot. It's all a lot. It's like 3 different songs mashed together.
And like the music video is crazy brightly colored. I wrote that it looked like a magical comic book Target commercial / urban graffiti pop art come to life.
Yes.
They're all wearing like 30 different patterns. They're sort of like hip hop-ish styled, like drop crotch sideways hats, high top sneakers, but like so many colors.
But then they go to the second location and it's less colors and it's more like camo and red and
Still a lot of colors and patterns though. But then they do their
Wigs.
favorite weird Girls' Generation thing and they bust out the terrible wigs.
wigs. And you only really have to see like 3 of them in the wigs. They clearly shot all of them in the wigs, but they didn't show too much of the wigs.
They're all wearing the same wig. It is orange, bright orange, with like blunt bangs, and it's very long. And they're wearing like short, shiny, multicolored raincoats. It's a really weird shift.
I love it.
In the music video. But I love that music
It's that
video.
shift, the part that we played in that clip just now that, hey, yo, stop, let me put it down another way. That is what got me into K-pop. Like, that moment is what changed me in my soul. And I was like, what is this? Like, I don't know. It was transformative and it was very important. Also, this music video caused, like, quote unquote controversy because Sunny's hat says welcome motherfuckers on it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really
There's like a
funny.
star for one of the U's.
Oh.
But still, whatever. I
Whatever.
love accidental cussing on K-pop stuff. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, me too. I really like the dancing in this song. I think like this is one of the first songs in a while that Girls' Generation has put out at this point in their timeline where they're back in like flats and like easily danceable shoes.
Yeah.
They're not wearing like stilettos or pumps. So they really break it down.
It was a big deal that they didn't wear their heels for this so that they could like really dance. Rest of 2013, I see they did another tour, world tour.
Yes. So after I Got a Boy came out in March of that same year, Tae So debuted Subunit, and then they did a second Japanese tour called Girls and Peace. And then they had also a first world tour, which went from June 2013 to February 2014. They went to 7 different Asian countries and then came out with their third Japanese album. So they were very busy.
Very busy. In 2014, in February, this 4th EP, which the title track, I love this song, is Mr. Mister.
You bad, bad, bad boy, you so bad. Mr. Mister, 날 봐. Mr. Mister, 그게 바로 너. 나의 가슴 뛰게 한 Mr. Mister, 최고의 남자. Mr. Mister, 그게 바로 너. 상처로 깨진 유리종.
This song is like a bummer in the way I can't think of a specific EXO song that's like this, but it's like the chorus is so good. Like what I just played is so good, but the verses are nonsense and they like don't go with that song and they're just like they kind of wreck it.
Yeah. I personally really like and would recommend watching the dance practice version of that song. The music video is like a weird retro, like scary hospital.
Scary Pink Hospital.
Yeah, where they're doing it seems like they're gonna do
Experimenting on
like
boys.
scary surgery on a boy, and then it cuts to them being in like a parking garage and dancing. The music video is weird, but the dance practice is fantastic. It's in the same room that the Shiny Everybody dance practice is in.
That studio.
But they have so many fucking people because it's not only the 9 members, but it's also backup dancers. It's insane. But the choreography is awesome.
Great. Okay, now it's time for a big moment that has nothing to do with music, but has a lot to do with the future of the group as it goes. So on September 30th, 2014, it was announced that Jessica had been removed from Girls' Generation.
Yes. Well, first she announced her dismissal and then SM confirmed it. And they claimed that it was for scheduling conflicts, which I found a little bit odd only because right before, right after Mr. Mister came out, Mr. Mister came out in February, and then they started a third Japanese concert tour in April. And then in September, she leaves and the tour like continues to go on without her. So I find it interesting that like in the middle of a tour, suddenly they have scheduling conflicts because it's like, SM, aren't you the one that's responsible for doing all their scheduling?
Well, that's the thing. So, in January of that year, like this part is hearsay. Some of this is hearsay, some of this is factual. So in January, it's said that, like by sources close to whatever, that Jessica is telling everybody that she wants to get married to her boyfriend, Tyler Kwan. And she also wants to go to school. And it's just like basically out in the wind that like Jessica is very ready to move on and is like making her after Girls' Generation plans. And SM tells her, can you just stay till the end of the year and we're going to do our a final album. But in August, Jessica launched a fashion line, like completely separate from everyone, which isn't against her contract to do so. But she just like went ahead and started a fashion line in China with her rich boyfriend. And that's what she did. So maybe it seemed like her priorities had changed or whatever. Yeah. But according to Jessica and everyone, it was like the whole group decided that she needed to go.
Yeah. It seems like she was making plans outside of the group and was creating scheduling conflicts for herself. Like she was scheduling things for herself as like a solo, or like as a non-group member.
Right.
And then those things ended up conflicting with her group duties and she was choosing to do the individual activities instead.
Yes, but
what it appears.
Yes, but from Jessica's perspective, like everybody was cool with all of her plans and cool with her boyfriend and cool with her fashion line. And then she was blindsided by the 8 people she loved the most. And she couldn't believe that this happened to her. And that's kind of where it's been left. It's not like anybody has since been like, here's the truth. Like that's what it was.
And it doesn't seem like any of the members keep in touch with her. So yeah, she left.
She left and she's doing her thing. She's doing her fashion line. She put out solo music, like
and the group continued, they finished the tour with 8 people through December 2014, and then next year, 2015, ready to come back as just 8.
Yes, and their first single, which was just a single as them as an 8-member group, is called "Catch Me If You Can."
Catch me if you can. Catch me if you can.
So, "Catch Me If You Can" is, as you can hear, like a very like EDM-y, like electronic song, and the music video takes place like on a construction set. I've always I love that. I wish I could pull off the outfits in this video. They're wearing like big cargo pants and like tool belts and like little ripped white t-shirts and gloves, and they're just dancing in a like construction zone.
Yeah, like sexy construction workers. But this was their first single as only 8 members, and in comparison to a lot of their other stuff, like didn't do that well. It only reached number 19 on the Gone chart. But it was just a single. It didn't come with an album.
And fun fact, there is a Jessica version of this music video out in the wind.
A version that has her in it.
Yes. So they did at some point film this entire music video with Jessica, and then I guess they had to redo it. They don't look different.
They're identical.
Yeah. So
shot for shot.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts. It's just like haircuts are slightly different.
Yeah.
And there's no Jessica. It's weird. So that was "Catch Me If You Can." August 2015. 5th album.
Yes.
The album was called "Lionheart."
Yes. And they released 3 singles from this album. So
3 singles.
Yes. This was their 5th studio album, and they released 3 singles from it. The first one they released was called "Party."
Here we go. We can't stop. Moving party time. It's a party time. We go rock. 따뜻하게 tonight.
This song is it's just very simple. It's very bouncy. I feel like this music video had to have been made in partnership with like Thai tourism or something.
Yeah, because they go on like a fancy Thai airplane.
Yeah, they go on a fancy Thai airplane. It was definitely shot on location. The whole thing takes place on like a beautiful beach. And I just wrote that there's beautiful hair, beautiful mermaids in white and denim and bikinis.
That's interesting because I wrote boobies and questionable hair colors.
Oh, I like all the hair colors.
I don't. Some of them I don't.
I like them all.
I don't like them all.
I like them all.
But I remember when this video came out being very shocked by it because a thing that I had learned in my like few years of K-pop at the time was that like when people actually go to the pool, they wear like
Lots of clothes.
full clothing. And so like I had never seen a girl group in bikini tops before. And I was like, oh my,
Yeah.
they're allowed to do this?
Yeah, and they're like all heavily featured in their bikinis, especially
Several
Suya.
bikinis.
Yeah, several
Cute
different ones, very cute ones. But yeah, that was Party.
Went to number 1. Good.
The second single off of this album was called Lionheart, which is also the name of the album.
Tell me why 맘이 자꾸 흔들리니 난 여기 네 앞에 있잖니 정신 차려 Lionheart 넌 내가
Okay. I have so much to say about this.
There's
one.
a lot to unpack about Lionheart. Take it away.
So first of all, in the music video, there is a like the typical like one boy who is dating the whole member, like the whole group, but this boy is wearing a giant stuffed like lion mask. So it's
Yeah.
like a stuffed animal that's alive. It's
Yep.
very odd. Also, it seems to be like they wanted to go for some kind of specific vintage, but they couldn't figure out what.
They couldn't decide which one because they do a lot of like really cheap. The choreography to this dance is so fucking weird. I literally wrote weird AF like as I was watching this because I watched both the music video and then a stage. And like some of the choreography has like super 60s, like those swimming moves,
Yeah.
like in the like a very like mod
But they're
style.
wearing flapper outfits.
But then, yes, one of the outfits in the music video is this like beautiful silver flapper dress, and that's what they wear on one of their stages. And they do just like we've talked about this song in our choreography episode because like the key point move of this song is like them jumping into like a super wide-legged squat and like rocking their hips back and forth as they like side to side as they like move their hands up their bodies. It's so weird.
It looks so weird.
And it almost looks a little bit obscene when they do it in the flapper dresses because the like flat
It hangs like a loincloth.
loincloth in
Yes.
between their legs, and like you see their legs up to like their hip joints.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Also, the
It's
music
very
video is a long commercial for the Some Cafe.
Yeah.
And at the end, you find out that the Lion Man was cheating on is cheating on all of them because they're all trying to meet him at the train station at the same time. So then they just like beat him up. And the music video has a 1.5-minute intro of all of them like hitting the lion with flowers and like, oh, you lion man. But I thought a Lionheart is like a good.
I thought
kind-
that too because I think Lionheart and I think Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe.
Oh, I
like,
think of the
as
Care
real.
Bear.
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, you know, I just think like a Lionheart is someone who is like brave and like steadfast and like pure-hearted.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
So tell me why. I don't know.
Tell me why. Indeed, everything about this is fucking weird.
Okay, so the last single that was released off the Lionheart album was called You Think.
너는 뱉어 멋대로 뱉어 차갑게 뱉어 You think you're real cool You think you're real cool 네 생각일 뿐 Boy you ain't cooler than me now You think you're real cool You think you're real cool 네 착각일 뿐 Boy you ain't cooler than me now
So I love this song, but no one agrees.
I fucking love this song. I wrote harnesses. Oh my.
I didn't know people were doing harnesses 4 years ago.
Girls' Generation was the first. All
Yes.
those crazy sex harnesses that everybody's wearing nowadays. They did it first. It's so different from Lionheart. It's it like makes your head spin.
It's crazy that they're on the same album.
Yeah.
And yeah, like to say that nobody else liked it, like this was their worst performing single
ever.
Since G. It only got to 30 and like it's a Girls' Generation song.
Yeah.
Like, but no one liked it except me. I also know through tangential, I know who wrote this song like through tangential connections. Like one of my producer's friends, wrote this song and
really
it got bought by SM. But yeah.
Well, that single may not have done very well,
Yes.
but the fifth studio album, Lionheart, in general, did go to number 1 on the Gone chart. Like, as a Girls' Generation album, it was highly successful. And it preceded their 4th concert tour, which made Girls' Generation the first South Korean girl group to ever have that many concert tours.
wow.
Yeah. After that concert tour, Taeyeon debuted as a solo artist in October 2015. And between her solo debut, the album from TTS, and the Girls' Generation group album itself, they became the most successful girl group of 2015.
Wow. I don't have anything but an SM station written down for 2016. Did they do anything else?
Yes. Two things happened. One, in May of 2016, Tiffany debuted as a solo artist.
Okay, yes.
And 2, August 2016 was their 9th anniversary, and they released a single called Sailing 0805.
Okay, that's what I have. I have it listed as an SM station. And I didn't pull a clip because it is a ballady fan song and it sounds exactly like you're picturing it.
Yeah. It's just like we love our fans. It was just a single. It didn't come with an album. They didn't promote it. It was almost like they didn't even bother to celebrate their 9th anniversary.
No. So let's go to 10 and make that one worth it.
Well, right before their 10th anniversary, I would say the last solo debut, which was Sohyun. She came out with her solo album, which Shannon and I love very much, in January of 2017.
Oh, that was January. I thought it was December 2016, like in my mind, but January.
I wrote it down as January.
That sounds right.
So anyway, so that came out. And then in August of 2017, it was their 10th anniversary. So they released their 6th studio album, which was called Holiday Night.
Yes, and there were 2 releases from that. Which one would you like to speak and listen to first?
Let's do Holiday.
Okay. Holiday.
지쳤던 맘은 던져버려 여기 너와 나 함께 즐기면 돼 볼륨을 높여봐
I'm still bitter that we never did this one in class.
I know, this one would have been so fun. I loved everything about this comeback. I love the song. I love the outfits. I love the music video sets. I love the choreography. I love it.
There's a Muppet bartender in the music video, which is funny.
Yes. There's fantastic hair colors in it. Like Sunny has really cute, like pink hair.
Yeah.
Who is it that's in the elevators in that Hyoyeon?
Hyoyeon.
She
She's
has like really cool mermaid pastel colored hair. They all look beautiful. Sooyoung looks so incredible in that her little outfit. She has these like gorgeous high-waisted red bell bottoms and like a little white tied top. Oh, she looks amazing.
Yes, this. And her
Yes.
haircut is perfect.
Her haircut's so beautiful.
Oh my God, yes. Okay. So, and then the second single that also came out, this is a clip from the clean version of the music video, but they did a long version of the music video that's intercut with them like talking about what it means to have been
It's
a
called the
group for 10 years.
documentary
There we
version.
go. Okay, but
it gave me pause because I wrote down like clean version. Where's the dirty version?
No,
there
no.
isn't one. It's just called documentary version.
거짓말처럼 서로 녹아들어 all night all night all night 사랑이란 건 정해진 것 없어 흘러넘치는 대로 가자 honey 입은 my fever 흠뻑 끓여 마셔 all night all night all night hey check it let it go
I loved this one too.
Me too.
It's just like sweet and they seem to be like having so much fun. And there's also one set piece where they are wearing like blue fringy cowgirl dresses. Get out of town. They're so good.
I wrote gorgeous disco queens in fringe and sequins because this music video from beginning to end, I want all of the outfits.
I especially want the Tiffany like lingerie with the fur.
Yes.
Ugh, love it.
Ugh.
But they're just like laying around the club together, and it's
they're just like dancing and having fun. And like, I think both of these, honestly, I kind of felt like when this came out, I feel like their 10th anniversary didn't come with enough fanfare.
Absolutely
Like
not.
this was a relatively quiet comeback in the sense
They
that
promoted,
like,
I think, on like 2 music shows, and that was it.
they had a really short promotion, and I just felt like, I don't know if it was like that the fans didn't like turn. I don't want to say that they like didn't turn out and like support this well
But they
enough.
didn't turn out because the like songs went to 32 and 12 respectively.
Well, the album went to number 1 on the
Okay.
Billboard World Charts and to number 2 on the Gaon charts. It surpassed The Boys as Girls' Generation's fastest selling Korean album. But
the singles, like, didn't do well
themselves
as, like-
didn't do well. They didn't win any music shows. And I personally felt like they came and went with like very little aplomb. And
Yeah.
I was really
I
disappointed.
wanted like full tributes from all of the current girl groups. I wanted people to like give
Yeah.
them extra flowers on their last
like
music
Shiny's 10th
thing. Like,
anniversary, they came out with a 3-album set, and like Girls' Generation's 10th anniversary, they did very little.
it felt buried, and like I
feel like SM failed them in making a significant deal about their 10th anniversary.
Yes, because even if all of the girls were very busy, and I know they were because they're all like, you know, doing their
They're
own
all
shit
superstars,
right now,
and they do a
but
lot of
SM
individual stuff.
SM could have tried a little harder to make a bigger deal out of it, because just a few months later in October, contracts expired, and Tiffany, Sooyoung, and Soyeon are not members of, or do not belong to SM Entertainment anymore. Everybody
Right.
else renewed contracts.
So technically, these 3 members, they chose not to renew their contracts, meaning that they left SM. But Girls' Generation did not officially disband.
No.
They have stated that group activities with all 8 members are still in future discussions. And the 5 members who did renew their contracts, they came out as a subunit.
Yes.
So they released a song in August of 2018 called Lil Touch under the name OGG. And so these 5 members, like, they are not touting themselves as being Girls' Generation. They are even still saying, like, no, we're just a subunit. We're missing 3 of our members. And so I do appreciate that, that they chose to promote, like, not as a... They chose to promote as a subunit. I think that was nice.
Yeah.
Plus, I love Lil Touch.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it has Sunny, Taeyeon, Yuna, Yuri, and Hyoyeon.
I'm trying to find, because I thought it'd be like a nice little button on this, since we just said like they technically are broken up. Now I can't find what is.
No, they're technically not.
They're
broken up.
They're technically not broken up. They're, well, no, you know what I mean. Shit. Well, now that I can't find it, it like won't matter. It starts with a number. That's why it wasn't coming. This bitch. Okay. But just this very morning, as we were recording this, my heart leaped. Sunny posted this on her Instagram, this picture of her and Tiffany, and the caption is like, "Whenever I'm with you, I feel 19 again." So like they're all still like bestest pals. At least the 8 of them are.
Yeah, the 8 of them. Like the 8.
The 8.
The 8 of them.
So yeah, we can have high hopes that someday they will do something again.
Yeah.
But
And I know, like, I didn't really know anything about Girls' Generation when their like 10th anniversary comeback came out. I was very into that comeback, and I feel that was like sort of the only comeback of Girls' Generation that I've been like super aware of and also was a fan of. But whatever they choose to, I was really into OGG, Little Touch. I loved it. So like I'm here and ready to like fully support whatever they do in the future, because they're icons and they're legends, and we should support them.
yes, and so as our last act of support for this episode, instead of playing our random game, we were going to watch Girls' Generation's most popular music video. I had hoped it was going to be I Got a Boy, just because like it would feel so full circle for me, but it's G, which is okay because it has a baby Mino in it. Okay. All right, you ready, girl?
Yes.
Okay, here comes Girls' Generation. G with 225 million views.
From 9 years ago. So they start out in their mannequins in a store window, all of the ladies. And Mino is picking them up
Pre-debut Mino
and putting them around.
in a vesty and a stupid hat.
a little vest, a little fedora.
Quitting time. Better leave
Now
the
that-
store.
Now
Bye,
that my
mannequins.
20 mannequins are placed carefully in front of the store. That's too many mannequins for a store window.
Listen, boy.
My first love story. There are quite a few bad fedoras happening
Yeah.
in this. It was the
So they
time,
all come
though.
to life. And basically, this music video is either taking place in the store where they're like having fun. And
Mino's
like,
the employee of the month. There's a poster of him on the wall, and they're all swooning over it.
and then they're in a box video where they're like dancing with neon colored shorts. Like so brightly colored.
I like the little pink the overalls that Sooyoung has on her. I think
Yeah.
Taeyeon has some too.
But they wear those like yellow, green, and pink shorts on the stages, and underneath the stage lights, they are blinding.
Oh no. And they're just wearing like plain gray t-shirts,
Yeah.
like regular old girls. I can totally see why this was so huge. Because they like don't look like unattainable
Definitely.
celebrities. They look like cute girls in cute jeans that you can buy too.
It definitely looked, this is of course the music video with all their skinny jeans, but all of the outfits in this, it's like you would see any of these girls at the mall. Baby, baby, baby.
Oh, don't put that sequin cowboy. No.
Also, one of them is wearing like a, what is that, like
Those little
navy
navy
hat,
hats.
the little like sailor hat. That also looks like an In-N-Out person's hat.
Yeah.
what I mean?
Those little Taeyeon has
Whatever
one
that
on
is,
too. Those
yeah.
little hats.
Those little like army
Taeyeon's
hats.
braces also
Is she wearing braces?
relatable. They're clear, but
Oh.
she's for sure has braces.
Oh, is she wearing Invisalign in this?
I was gonna say that earlier as like a way to identify Taeyeon, but I was like, maybe that's just you. That every time you see her, like she has braces.
Well, now I'm gonna keep an eye out
Okay,
for it.
Pantene commercial part where they're all like sleepy and white and laying in a pile. Ah,
With the prettiest,
but all their hair is
shiniest
the exact same color.
Pretty
Almost.
much, yeah. Slight shades of red.
It's Yuri who has the hat on. I have face blindness, but I know that much. G. Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh, ladies. Keep an eye on the time.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Tiffany didn't hold her pose good. Uh-oh, something's wrong.
They're in the wrong place.
Or maybe they don't want to be there. They want Mino to know they were moving around
Or
the store.
they just had to get in one last chorus.
Oh, they just
Oh, no, they
pieced.
leave.
They just left.
Yeah, they leave. And Mino comes in and is like, where are all my mannequins at?
Oh my God, he's so, look at that mullet. That's a mullet. Hashtag mullet watch 2019. There's one. It just ends with his beautiful face. Yeah. It ends with them. But for a moment, it looked like it was going to end with him. That
Yeah,
would
it
have been
did.
pretty funny.
I love the feature of his poster, his employee of the month poster that's covered in kisses.
Because the mannequins are, and he was like, what?
What?
Yeah, so that's a nice, I think, like a good comprehensive primer of like the music and the legend of Girls' Generation.
Absolutely.
Do you have a recommendation for this week or anything like that?
I mentioned my recommendation
right.
earlier, but it is the dance practice version of Mr. Mister.
Mine is a little odd, but it's like a song I've had on my phone for a really long time. And I know I said like, no Japanese stuff, but I'm going to recommend one. One of their Japanese singles was called Galaxy Supernova. And for some reason, it must have been really new when I first got into K-pop or something. Like, I don't know why I would have otherwise found it unless it was like a new Girls' Generation thing that was out. But anyway, it's just like a very standard Girls' Generation song, but I like it. And it has special warm memories from long ago. So Galaxy Supernova is my recommendation.
All right, good choice.
But that's that. And if you would like to get in contact with us,
Yes.
amakpoppod@gmail.com. But if you want to otherwise talk to us, we're on Twitter and Instagram at amakpoppod, amakpoppod.tumblr.com for links, and Ask Me About K-Pop, the podcast on YouTube. Yeah, that's all the places and all the things. So thanks for listening, as always.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Chonghyun, your inspiration.